For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Salsals and family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 22 video on the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going over 3 of the best coin making methods in this game.
Also, everyone be like, last Sunday without football, woohoo.
Like, nah, don't get it twisted, man. Last Sunday without seeing the Saints take a W until the Super Bowl, because we're going undefeated and winning the Super Bowl. You heard it here first. Now, the first method is going to revolve around the new campus heroes in the game. The new campus heroes in the game, they gave us grade 89s, they gave us Reggie Bush, but they also gave us an opportunity to get 80 overall players at an incredibly reduced price. So essentially the way this method is going to work is super simple, boys. We're going to the exchange set, we're going to our player exchange, we're going to scroll on down to this set right here, the 83 to 84 exchange, and we are focusing on this one in today's video. Now, here's the goal of method number 1. Essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sniping 3 campus hero 80 overall players, putting them into this set, and then completing this set for a profit. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. Let me get into the numbers and exactly how you guys are going to be sniping these 80s, the price you want to get them at, and then kind of your profit margin and how much you're going to make on this method. Now, before we get into the sniping of our 80s, let's take a look at the prices of the 83 and 84s, because we want to make sure we know exactly how many coins we're going to be getting when we complete this set. Okay, so it looks like the 84 overall players, they're selling pretty consistently at a price of around 30 to 40k depending on your pull, and when it comes to the 83s, I would assume that these cards look like they're selling for around 21 to 22k, as you guys will see when we just go to this filter just to kind of get a gauge of these prices. It looks like 83s, yeah, they're up for around 23k. I would assume that probably our floor with this method is we get back around 21,000 coins, but the maximum is we're making back about 50k. So now that we know how many coins we're going to be getting from the set, we know our floor, we know our maximum, now we can get into sniping. And when it comes to sniping these cards, essentially what I want to do is complete this set at the same price as the floor. That's going to mean that if we get the worst pull possible out of this pack, the worst possible 83, we're going to be getting the set done for the exact same price and we break even. Now, if you pull an expensive 83, an 84, or an expensive 84, then you profit on this method. Now, in order to get the set done for a price of around 22k, what we're going to do is we're going to try and snipe these 80s for a price of around 7 to 8k. That's going to be the price that we're looking for, and essentially what I do to snipe these cards is I simply filter it down by position. So left outside linebacker, free safety, cornerback, we can take a look at all of these, and all I'm looking for is I'm looking for players up for a price of 8k or less. If I see 8k or less, I'm doing this, I'm buying the player, and we're sniping the card. So all I'll really do right here is I'll cycle through all these positions. I did some of the sniping off camera, and I feel like my favorite position right here is probably corner. I found the most snipes on this filter, but it really just comes down to luck. I would recommend you guys check all of these, and if you find a filter that's hot and is producing a lot of snipes, just stay on that one and refresh on it. As you guys can see, we'll basically check almost every single position. There's basically a card at every single spot, so you can check out all these, then we can move to all offense and do the exact same thing. And then once we end up getting 3 of our snipes at a price of less than 8k, we go ahead and we end up doing the set, and we hopefully get a good pull. Hopefully you guys get an 84, and hopefully you profit on that. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to quickly hopefully find like 6 more snipes, maybe just 3 of them, but I do want to try and do this set 3 times for you guys live in the video. As you guys can see in my bids right here, I did just quickly buy these 3 cards off camera, 7.5, 7k, and 7.5 for the cards. Okay, so there we go, boys. We were able to land some more snipes. As you guys can see, it looks like we have 9 of these cards right here, so we're gonna be able to do this pack a total of 3 times. Each time we rip the pack, it's basically like we're dropping about 23,000 coins on it. So an 84 overall pull is basically going to guarantee that we're making coins on this. We're putting in all these players to the set. I would say that when you guys are finding these snipes, they're like moderately challenging. Like, you're probably going to find them maybe like every 3 to 5 refreshes. It's not like every refresh you find a card, but also depending on how picky you guys want to be and depending on how like stringent you want to be with your budget, you guys can buy these cards at a price of like 8.1, 8.2 if you think you're going to end up getting some good pulls, but it really just depends how picky you want to be and how big you want to make that margin to make sure that you're going to be making coins every time. Okay, so now let's rip this, boys. 383s would absolutely ruin this method, but if we're able to get 184, I think we'll be in a solid situation. As you guys can see, card number 1 right here, we're going to be getting a superstar player. It's an 83 J.K. Dobbins. I don't think that's a great pull. Again, like I said before, we're really looking to hopefully get some 84s out of this. 84s are what we want. An 83 that goes into an expensive power-up. That would also work right here. Legend player, 83. It's an 83 Brandon Marshall. That kind of sucks right there. We're also getting one more pack. Can we end it off with an 84? 84. Fingers crossed, hopefully we're able to. It's a core elite. It is going to be an 83 Denzel Ward. Okay, so that absolutely sucks right there. Those are probably some of the worst possible pulls we can get. Brandon Marshall is up for around 23k. That's a break-even card. J.K. Dobbins looks like he's up for a little bit more than that, 27k. So we make a little bit of profit right there. Then Denzel Ward, kind of the same story, up for around 27k, 25k actually. So only a little bit of profit right there. But as you guys can see, it's all about luck. You're basically guaranteed to break even at the worst possible. And as you guys can see, the worst possible is Brandon Marshall. The card's up for like 23k, I believe it is. And that basically means that we're just breaking even. He's actually up for 26k, as you guys will see. So basically, no matter what you guys get, you're gonna make a little bit of profit off of. But if you get lucky and you end up getting an expensive 83 or an 84 overall player, then the profit is gonna be there. So that's method number one. Okay, now moving on to method number two right here, boys. Again, we're gonna be focusing on the fact that we can get these 80 overall players at such a cheap price. As you guys can see, the 80 overall cards are selling for like 8k, which is wild. So what we're gonna be doing right here is we are going into the ever trustworthy team builder sets, and we're gonna be doing these for a profit by getting our 80 overall players at such a cheap price. So this method is honestly gonna be super simple, boys. As you guys can see, to complete these sets right here, you gotta throw in 3 80-82s and 3 75-79s. Now, basically the way I do this is I kind of have a little bit of a buddy system. You guys know back in the day in elementary school, in preschool, you always had a little buddy, and the way we're doing this is we're buddying up an elite card and a gold card. And essentially the goal of this method is just to find an elite and find a gold and have those two players combined for a price of 10k. That's going to mean that at the maximum, we're spending a total cost of about 30,000 coins on the set. I'll let you guys know what the best sets to do are in just a second, but essentially what we'll be doing is we'll hopefully be getting a player that's selling for over 40k, and we're easily making about 10,000 coins every single time we do this. Okay, so we're going to start it off by sniping some gold players. As you guys can see, we go by core gold, we go by 75-79. All I'm going to do is filter through positions, and basically what I want to do right here is I'm trying to find a gold card up for a price of around 2,000 coins if that works. And basically what that's going to allow us to do is we can then couple up the card we got for 2k with a campus hero that hopefully we're able to snipe for a price of around 8k, and that's going to end up being 10k for those two little cards right there. And we're able to put both of those players into the set and get some really nice progress when it comes to getting our 84 overall and getting that team builder set done. But as you guys can see, these gold players have gone up in price so much. Now the reason why that's the case is because people are trying to prepare for when the new team diamonds come into the game. So an alternative you guys can do to try and find these cards for cheap is you can try and bid on some of these cards. As you guys can see, we can try and bid on this Tevin Coleman right here, and we're basically trying to get these cards for around 2k. As you guys can tell, the profit margins are pretty solid on this method. So if you end up spending around 2.5k or even closer to like 3,000 coins on these cards, that's not really the end of the world. But again, the goal is 10k. If you go over that by a little bit, it's not the end of the world. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm probably going to be a little bit more lenient when it comes to my pricing. I'll try and get these cards for about 3k or under, and I'll see you guys once I do that. So we got our cards. Now all we got to do is we got to get our campus heroes. Like I said before, these campus heroes being up for such a cheap price just leaves us so many opportunities in the market. I would say that personally, that first method is probably a little bit more fun to do because as you guys can probably tell, like the opportunities are endless because all you got to do is literally just get 3 snipes in here. Then you have the chance to open up a fun pack, which is guaranteed to make you coins. As you guys can see, we'll take Market Spheres right here at a price of around 7.9. Not a crazy good deal. And actually, we're not going to take the card. Someone else wanted it more badly than us, so that sucks for us right there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue cycling through these prices. We should hopefully find like 1 snipe live on camera. Then I'll probably do the rest of them off camera. As you guys will notice, left end, left outside linebacker, corner, and free safety. Those like seem to be my favorite filters. I would say those probably give me the most success. I feel like I kind of just cycle through those ones. And all I'm looking for is one person to put these cards up. As you guys can see, these cards are all up for like 8.1, 8.2. All it takes is one more person to literally just pull one of these cards and put them up for a solid deal. Reggie White at 7.9. And of course we don't land that. Like what? I'm going fast on these snipes. We're getting unlucky with the on-camera sniping right here, to say the least. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I landed my snipes right there, and just for fun, I decided to go through and get a few more campus heroes just so we could have some fun at the end of the video, and we could try out that pack that I did at the start of the video one more time. But now this is probably the most important part of the method. I want you guys to select a card in here and go through these team builders and try and find a player that is selling for at least like 42 to about 44k. Now OJ Howard, as you guys can see, looks like he's up for around 42k. That is definitely someone we will consider. We can also take a look at cornerback. As you guys can see, Fabian Moreau is pretty cheap. Sean Murphy Bunting isn't up for a ton. And it doesn't look like there's any other corners in here selling for a lot. Sidney Jones could maybe work. But L'Jarius Sneed, as you guys will notice, this card is actually up for a price of around 47k. So I think we're going to do L'Jarius Sneed in this video. But yeah, if you see a card that has good stats and they're selling for like 42k plus, I would say you guys can do them and you can easily make some profit. As you guys can see, that L'Jarius Sneed card, he's up for a price of around 47k. And this set probably costed us about like 33k. So a really easy like 10k profit after tax. You'll love to see that. As you guys guys can see, we're going back into our sets. You need to select the team that the player is on. Now, I would definitely recommend that you guys just take a second look here, because if you do Fabian Moreau, he switched teams, guys. I believe he's on the Falcons, so you want to quickly read the description of the set and make sure that the player that you want is actually going to be in this pack. Put your cards into the pack, and as you guys can see right here, here is going to be the L'Jarius Sneed. The card is up for around 47k. We'll sell him off, and we are easily going to be making like a pretty nice amount of profit. The card's probably selling for like 45. So yeah, that's just a super easy coin making method right there. Like I said before, we got a few more 80s because I want to do this method one more time. I want redemption. I was getting some decent pulls when I tried this, but as you guys can see, let's try this pack one more time. Can we get an 84? Show me an 84. It's an 84 Von Bell. There we go. That card is selling for a little bit more coinage, I would assume. Looks like he's up for a price of around 37k. So that's what I was talking about with this first method, boys. You can pull some cards that are 84s, and if you do that, you're making a lot of coins. I'm definitely going to be doing this one off camera quite a bit, because it's a really, really fun method to do. And yeah, that's going to do it for me, boys. Until next time, lads, I'm out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. So